All right, people, I can't believe I'm really making this video. This weekend, December the 19th, we have Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, or well, Jake Paul's the A side really, so it's Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. What's crazy is this video is probably gonna be longer than the Javonte Davis versus Lamont Roach prediction, and I was pretty certain. That fight didn't really go the way I said it was gonna go, did it? This fight I'm nearly certain will go the way I say it's gonna go, so it probably won't be the longest, but it'll still be longer than 33 seconds that video was, and it already is longer than that. So yeah, that's very funny in retrospect, and hopefully in retrospect this video doesn't become very funny. We all know Anthony Joshua, of course, Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, got a record now of 28-4, 25 big wins coming by knockout, two of his defeats coming by way of knockout, and I'm sure you will be very familiar with Jake Paul. None of the accomplishments in boxing that I've just listed for Anthony Joshua, not the world championships, not the Olympic gold medalist. The accomplishments, I suppose, really come in the, well, commercially, right? It come commercially, what he's been able to do commercially, the kind of money he pulls in commercially, I suppose. Jake Paul enters this fight for a record of 12-1. 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He's never been stopped. His one defeat coming by the hands of Tommy Fury by split decision. Let's get into it, man. Anthony Joshua, of course, coming off that loss to Daniel Dubois, that devastating defeat. He's had time off. He's had over a year off since then. He's now training with Team Usyk, which I think's at this stage in his career, I'm not 110% sure how impactful that could be, but if he had done it back when he lost to Usyk the second time, I'm thinking, okay, maybe, because they're going to work on your mental, the conditioning. Like we could see improvements at this age. Maybe it can change the mental. Joshua's the type of character who does want to learn, so I don't think it's a bad move at all, and also opens up the division a bit more for fights between him and the likes of Fabio Wardley, Atalma, if they want to do that. But yeah, of course, the version of Anthony Joshua we're looking at now, really the version we've seen since his defeat to Andy Ruiz back in 2019, has been a more patient Anthony Joshua. Back in the day, he used to kind of work you out, hurt you, and just absolutely explode and flurry you and overwhelm you with fast, explosive combinations with quick hands and obviously very powerful hands. Now he just kind of fills you out and tries to set up a counterpunch. I always felt Joshua's counterpunching was very, very underrated. His timing is very, very good. His accuracy is very, very good with single shots. And that's kind of what he does now. He's very patient. He's a bit more cerebral. He's definitely got slower, I'd say. He doesn't put his shots really together at all anymore. He's more of a singles and doubles man in counters. But it is still a style that is absolutely effective, I would say. Well, we've seen it be effective at world level, right? He beat Ruiz in the rematch. He beat Kubrat Pulev. Recently, we've only really seen him win in fringe world level fights. Jermaine Franklin Jr., I'd say he's fringe world. He's a gatekeeper. He's a gatekeeper. Robert Helenius, that was a short lowest replacement. That doesn't really count. Otto Wallingham, I'd say, is like another gatekeeper, fringe world level type, and Francis Ngannou, who is very hard to nail down what kind of level he is, but I wouldn't say it's fringe world level, but still. Last time he came up against world-class opposition was, of course, Daniel Dubois. He was flattened in that fight. He didn't look right in that fight to me. I saw from his legs, from the opening round, his legs just didn't look good. Chin was up, guard was low. I thought in that fight he'd have to keep Dubois behind a very sharp, strong jab to keep Dubois in his box and get his respect, keep the range, and then hopefully find a counter as Dubois crashes in, as he likes to do, with his kind of lack of defense. And his jab looked flaccid. Didn't look to be anything behind it. And all the other stuff I've just mentioned. He was taken out in 5 rounds, and that fight was dropped quite a few times. Jake Paul's, of course, coming off a win against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which is I want to say respectable, but I don't even know, man, because Chavez Jr.'s first of all in his prime, prolific weight bully. At this stage in his career is fucking close to useless. And he struggled in that fight, Jake Paul, in the last 2 rounds. The first kind of 8 rounds were very smooth sailing. The last 2 rounds were, Chavez Jr. decided to start throwing punches, kind of pressured Jake Paul, pushed him back, and Jake Paul looked to kind of. That's what he struggles with, I think, is the pressure. We, of course, saw him against Mike Tyson in that absolutely farcical 8-rounder fight, which was 2 minutes a round. If I've got to give him any credit in that fight, he did what he needed to do to beat Mike Tyson. An older version of Mike Tyson, granted, it wouldn't have worked against a younger version, obviously. But it was, he used his legs well and he stuck Mike Tyson behind long punches. I don't really want to talk about that fight. He has, of course, got a loss to Tommy Fury, which I think says his level. It was a fairly clear win from Tommy Fury. So yeah, safe to say my official prediction is Anthony Joshua. Now, the manner of which is what gets interesting. A lot of people saying this is a first round knockout for Anthony Joshua, easy. It's a first round blowout, this, and that. I disagree. We look at Joshua on the come up. Paul Butler and take around knockout. There's a lot of second rounds there. There's quite a few first rounds, but he's never been the biggest first round kind of finisher in any capacity. Francis Ngannou is the most recent example. Joshua's a lot more cerebral now. He does like to take looks at his opponent. Maybe that's a confidence thing. Maybe that's just a stylistic adjustment since the losses, because that proved to be an issue back in the day. Him kind of getting a bit gun ho and putting his shots together, and just as soon as he gets an opponent hurts, he tries to just crowd him with punches and he wore himself down, and then he'd have to take rounds to recover. But he likes to see if the opponent's got weaknesses, and he's just a hell of a lot more patient now. I think this goes to a second, maybe third round. I think this fight depends on Jake Paul. If Jake Paul opens up offensively in the first round, I think it's over in the first round. It's basically whenever Jake Paul, either his legs tire or he opens up offensively, because I think Jake Paul would choose to move. I've noticed with Jake Paul, I don't think he suits the cruiserweight limit. Definitely don't think he suits the heavyweight limit. I think he's an artificial cruiserweight. I don't think that weight's good on him. And yeah, I think he'll choose to lose his legs. It's kind of the smart thing to do. And I think it will depend on when that his legs kind of start to slow down and get a bit heavier. And I think that will happen second, third round. Joshua will get in then. Yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. That's my official prediction. Anthony Joshua second, maybe first, second or third round. It doesn't go much further than that, in my opinion. Yes, thank you for watching. Goodbye.